Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Hello and welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Happy Wednesday to everyone. It's good to see you. All right, we got a couple more days to the weekend.
Woohoo!
And a bunch of emails here.
Are you doing anything fun for the weekend? Do you know?
Don't know of anything right now.
You got the rib roundup.
Yeah, that's right.
Don't
That's right. I am.
forget.
Sorry. I was like, I didn't have my mind there. But yeah, that is coming up on Saturday. I will be out there for the rib roundup, judging the ribs.
I just saw the trophy, one of the trophies they made for I guess one of the rib winners. It is so badass. It's this big ass rib.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
very cool.
That's
Yeah.
a great thing. Put
Yeah.
that on your mantle. Be like, I won the rib roundup, bitch.
It's got a little box at the end of it. It looks really cool.
That's
it's sharp
very
looking.
cool.
I love ribs. They have great ribs out there. I've been a judge out there before for that and thoroughly enjoyed it. And, the music is good, too. I'm a big fan of some of the artists going to be out there. Lainey Wilson is an artist. She has a really big song right now on country radio, Heart Like a Truck.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound like a country song title? Heart Like a Truck. I got a heart like a truck. You know,
And my truck's broken down.
yeah, it's kind of like, it's
Damn.
been driven through the mud. It's been all this kind of stuff. You know, it's just got all that great country stuff in it. She also did a little guest spot on Yellowstone. So she's kind of she's got a hot name right now.
I see country doing that where, I play the old hits, but I also act.
She was a bar act in Montana.
Okay.
And that's what it was. They wrote her in for a couple episodes. Russell Dickerson and Joe Nichols are going to be some of the big names out there.
That's the old school country. We like that Joe Nichols.
Joe Nichols, yeah, he's been around a while, so he's going to be out there.
Now, will you go ape shit eating those ribs, or will you just kind of
I'll go into it. Yeah, it's because of the sugar and the sauce. It's not good for the keto, Kev. But I live a little bit. Ribs is one of those things I give myself a little bit of a pass here and there.
Good, because when you're the judge at the rib roundup, all the ribs are free.
I know, right?
When anybody asks me to judge any kind of food stuff, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be great. Because you get to
Free
eat.
erases all sugar content.
Oh, free ribs, that doesn't happen very often in life.
Everybody needs a FID. A fuck it day. Just fuck it. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. As a patron, do you get to try all the ribs? I think what they do, I don't think that they have necessarily rib tasting, but they do have all the ribs that we're going to be tasting. You can go out and buy. So, maybe if you're on social media, maybe I can post up what my favorites were. And so if you want to get some ribs, I think they probably would lose a lot of money if they just handed out free ribs to everybody all day. But
when we used to do that chili cook-off, you do feel like a badass with power. You're eating all that food. They want to hear your thoughts. It's fun.
It is fun, and you get to write like comments. Okay, well, this chili was a little too spicy, or this one was a little too mild. Like, they want you to have like commentary. You kind of feel respected.
Someone tried to kind of buy me off a little bit. Like, Bird, this is art. We're big fans, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you want some of this? You want some Mountain Dew? I'm like, damn, I like this. I can be bought.
yeah,
I can so be bought.
that's right. I can, no doubt.
I am not an honest judge.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be on Saturday. And then my son is kind of ramping up. He's got, a lot of his sports. So he's starting to get at that age where I think we're going to be doing a lot of sports stuff over the weekends. He does basketball on Sundays, and then he's going to start having, he's had the draft for the flag football team he's playing on.
How's his hoop game going?
He's doing all right. He's coming along. Yeah, he's working at it. So
big rebounder? Is he a point guy? More of a defense?
I'd say he's actually doing a little bit of everything. He's got a good shot. decent with the passing, so he's putting his time in. He's working at it, so we're trying to get him there.
Basketball was fun, man.
Yeah, he really enjoys it. He's a big fan of it. I'd say it's probably his favorite sport. He really goes all in on watching the NBA stuff. He really knows all about all the players, and football's his second favorite.
I was so shitty at basketball, but it was so fun.
Yeah.
Basketball's hard.
I was too big into baseball and tennis, so basketball was always third. I'd play on teams because my friends would be on them, and I thought it was great fun. But yeah, man, that fucking sucks.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah, first sport I got him into was baseball because baseball's so big around here, and his sister had played softball, and I thought that was just an interesting seg, and he grew up around the softball fields when he was a real little kid. And he just does not like baseball, man. We took him to the spring training game on Sunday. It was like torture for him. He's like, I was miserable.
A lot of people don't like baseball.
He does not like baseball at all.
And I think, too, there's an atmosphere. I get that a lot of people don't like baseball because it's boring, but there's also this atmosphere of, fuck baseball, it's boring, blah, blah, blah.
Right,
That's going to bleed into it as well.
The best thing about baseball is the draft beer and the hot dogs.
But you had fun at the game. Because
you were there.
But that's the point of a game, I think. It's more of a relaxed...
It had nothing to do with a single baseball player.
Right.
It was all about you.
Yeah, I think the perfect sporting environment, I think a lot of sports are starting to get this. It's the atmosphere, it's the pomp, it's the circumstance, it's everything. It's the tailgating. Those are the kind of things. In baseball, you don't really associate that with tailgating. I think football does well because it's a day-long event. It's eating and drinking, and then, hey, if the sport's somewhat exciting and you've got something that gets you, ginned up about that, then you're like, okay, that was great. And you walk away pumped. But baseball, you don't really tailgate. You go and you get some dogs and a beer at the game, and then you just kind of, I don't know, it lacks anything that so much stuff today gets you so emotional, and it's so action-packed and fast-paced. I think NBA's done better because it's pretty fast-paced, and they, a lot of times, at least I know in Miami for the Heat games, they got a DJ that is playing music during the entire game. So it just has the feeling of, man, this thing is high energy.
It's a party.
Because of that on top of it. And baseball's so quiet.
I do want to defend baseball, though. And maybe there's just not enough people that like this style. It's calmer. It's not as busy. It is a little bit more relaxed. And some people do like that kind of atmosphere.
They do, and they're old. And
they're preparing for death.
I was looking around at the small crowd on Sunday at ballpark at the Palm Beaches, like, these fuckers are old, man. Wow, there was not a lot of young people there. And so I noticed that. I was like, well, okay.
That's funny.
It was so magical at one point. It's crazy.
I know. It's sad because it really was, as a kid, it was my favorite sport, even over football.
Kind of like,
it's changed, though.
Like Saturday Night Live, though, baseball's always been one of those sports where it has down.
Okay.
Everyone hates baseball. It's gonna be gone forever.
Okay. Tracy sent an email. She said, my son is starting baseball season. He has to pick out a walk-up song, looking for any ideas. What would you pick as your walk-up hype song? Something hip-hop, rock, dance, party music?
I was a peacocker when we would do this at times, and I'd always go something really slow, depressing to make the guys laugh because it's the complete opposite.
Oh, okay.
I would go for funny.
It's a good approach, yeah.
Yes.
That's a
and
fun
it would weird out
approach.
the other team. Like, what? Is this guy playing the Carpenters walking up here?
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. But
Close to you?
Yeah, something really bizarre and sad and slow and not hype at all.
That's good. I like that. Because, you do. As soon as you hear the walk-up song, you're like, okay, I've got a picture of who this person is. And at the game on Sunday, I heard like a song, got a little dirt on my boots. I'm like, okay, this is a white guy probably from Texas. He's probably about 5'11", sure enough. White guy from Texas, about 5'11", walks up to bat. And then I hear bump it doop it doop. I'm like, okay, this guy's Puerto Rico or the Dominican, and he's going to be. And sure enough, you can just tell. Like, you close your eyes and you'd be like, going, okay, I have a feeling that this batter is going to be this.
It can be kind of embarrassing too if you've got a badass song that you're walking. I'm the best. And you get up there and you strike out. Then you have to walk back, kind of go. I kind of like having something in the middle.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't like. Are you
not
really,
embarrassed?
Yeah, you're a badass if you just struck out on 3 pitches. I don't know if you are.
Mm-hmm. I think the best thing is go with something that's personal to you. Go with something that is fun. Something that has a good hook. Because there was one where I've heard that too, where they were doing the walk-up song where it had too much of a slow lead in, and then by the time the song started to get going, they would cut it off, and the guy would go to at bat, and I'm like, it wasn't a good walk-up song for that reason.
Gotcha.
You also need to get them kind of cued to the right spot, and a lot of times they're too lazy. They just play it from the beginning.
Amber R in our chat room says, I'm just tired of the KVJ baseball hate. And Amber just turned 93.
Happy birthday, Amber.
Yeah, I hear you.
I love it. I do love baseball. I get pissed off at baseball because it is an emotional thing for me. I grew up with it, and I think it needs to make some changes. And, and that's what it comes down to. When you start losing people like me, I think you got a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I would like to fall in love with baseball again, but I don't know that I will until they find some changes. And you're right. I'm sorry to keep hating on it because, I would love to see it make baseball great again. Can you say that? Or
I don't know if you
you
can.
Oh, boy.
I think you can say
that.
No.
Okay, you can't say that. Okay, I won't do that. Let me see here. Got a couple other emails. Somebody in the chat room was wanting to know, did the Queen hear your conversation about her neck tat from yesterday? No, she did not. I don't think she didn't mention it. I don't think she listens to the after the show. She hears a little bit of the early show, but that's about all she has time for.
She doesn't download our podcast?
No,
Damn
she
it.
doesn't give a shit.
She don't care.
Yeah, so she did not listen, didn't mention it, and it's not when we talked about it. We didn't have time to talk yesterday, but I did drop it on her mom. So I saw her mom, yeah. So
What'd she say?
I dropped it on her. I'm like, you heard about this neck tat that
Oh, good.
your daughter and granddaughter want to get?
Maybe Mom will help you.
Yeah, well, she's big time on my side on
Okay.
this. And so you never know because Grandma's very vocal. Like, Deb don't mind voicing her opinion. And so, not that Kim ever listens to what her mom says, but, if it's just that added extra.
It's not a landslide for Kim and Caitlin.
It's not a solution, but it's just, I'm starting to stack up as many things as I can in my favor.
I like it.
Yeah.
Does the Queen and her mom ever butt heads, or are they pretty peaceful?
No, they do, but her mom, is from Chicago. And so she's just loud. Her mom is just naturally loud. And I think a lot of that boisterousness, Kim gets out of it too. And so she's very vocal. Like, she always, her opinion. And, well, Kim, man, just talks loud like this. She's got that Chicago accent. And
You're surrounded by so many loud, opinionated people.
Oh, my gosh. It's just unreal. Oh, you should have seen the exchange going on the other day. We were trying to get to the ball game. It was Kim's birthday. Cannon didn't know that he wanted to go. And Grandma's like, you're going to ruin your mom's birthday. Look at what you're doing. You're ruining the family. And it's like, God. It was just so much yelling and just, and it was only just, and she'd be calm. She'd wash the plate, and then she started screaming again. And so, I know if I kind of get her going, Kim would just be like, ugh. Kim doesn't listen, but just to hear her mom dragging her, I don't get this neck tattoo. This is stupid. What are you doing? So if she gets a lot of that, Kim, it might wear her down a bit.
Good.
That's typically what it is.
Strategic warfare, Kevin.
It is.
I like it.
That's just what I got to do.
That moment you said about, are you ruining that whole fight?
Yeah.
That brings me back to my family so much. We've had fights like that
right.
where it's so intense and something's going on. You're trying to leave
Isn't
somewhere.
it funny when they lower their head and they get into something else for about a minute or two, and then all of a sudden, blah, and it just erupts again out of them. You're like, I thought you were done.
Oh, the worst would be when my mom and Aunt Ann would fight. You're like, oh, and you were stuck in a car. The fucking worst, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. 'Cause I'm such a laid back dude, but man, these boisterous people who just got a lot to say.
You're peaceful. You're calm. You're very quiet.
But the peaceful guy knows how to manipulate the loud person. So that's what you got to do.
Okay, I see you
Gotta get her-
working.
Giving them compliments. What'd you say? He's peaceful. He's
Yeah. Kind.
Oh, yeah, she's trying to get more compliments out of her.
Because she was kind of a dick earlier. She was not giving us compliment the entire day.
Yeah.
In fact, you're kind of.
Yeah.
I like to keep you on your toes, Pennington.
You don't need to. I walk on my toes.
Yeah. Jacob sent an email. He said somebody needs to pull some audio from the latest Boca Bitch podcast, Kevin's daughter's podcast.
I don't know if you want to hear that.
I don't. I know when she recorded her
I know what it's about.
I know when she recorded her first three because we did it at Jaybirds, and I sat in for those.
This
and
ain't that.
Even some of the content itself there and some of those, I was like, okay, I'm like your dad. I don't know that I need to be in on this conversation. And so, yeah, I was a part of the first three, but I realized this is my 20 almost 25-year-old daughter talking about,
Her sex life.
Yeah,
Oh my
all that kind of
gosh.
stuff. And
Yeah, it's a lot.
I was like, nah.
Just as Kevin's friend, I didn't want to listen to it. But
Yeah.
I read the synopsis, and she said in the synopsis, "Mom and Dad, this one's not for you."
Yikes. Yeah, I can see why. Because Jacob said half the episode is about eating ass. Oh, my gosh.
I have so many questions, but I don't want the answers.
No, I don't. I feel like Aunt Ann when she says, I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. Yeah. No, I hear you. You said the worst part about it, though, is if I make that comment on the video, I'll be that creepy dude. Yeah,
You
you're right.
can't
Yeah.
comment. You can
No.
only watch it as a ghost.
Yeah. No,
I know.
I'm not gonna,
well, I
not
follow.
gonna go there.
I follow her. I'm always afraid that if it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm going through. I accidentally like one of her pictures. Like, oh my god, how do I?
He
say that?
actually like the ass eating
Oh, oh my
post.
god, Kevin! I swear it was an accident. Because I've done that before, where I've liked someone's comment, and it's a comment where you shouldn't like. And like,
Jay Bird, you liked Caitlin's ass eating post.
well, then you unlike it, but then it's 1 o'clock in the morning. It just looks like you are just watching your screen with your pud in your hand.
Yeah.
It's just I could unfollow
yeah.
some motherfucker.
Not anything I need to know. KJ's like, yeah, she's trying to do a Call Her Daddy, and it's very similar to that. And she loves that Call Her Daddy. It's from the Barstool Sports. It's some young girl, and honestly, the girl who's on there seems like she lives kind of a similar life that Caitlin does. It's all that. I guess if you're a young female. This is just the kind of stuff you do and talk about. And who am I to say anything? I mean, I start thinking about some of the stuff I've said on this after the show that probably can't throw any stones. I mean, I just know, like, if my mom listened to some of the content that's on this, she'd be like, oh.
Well, the other thing, too, is Caitlin's just cutting her chops right now, right?
She is,
She's
yeah.
just getting
Yeah,
her.
she's trying to find her form in whatever she's doing. So, yeah, but, looking at that subject matter, that's not going to be something I'm going to
no.
race.
Just
to check
skip that
out.
one.
Yeah, Denny's pulled up. She's like, I don't know, Kev. If you want, like, I just posted some 54 seconds of random. You might want to listen to it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. I'm like,
That's what Denny said?
yeah.
Denny's listening to it.
Denny's is into eating ass? Denny's? I didn't even know.
Denny's is
Denny's is an ass eater?
Denny's pulled a minute of the audio for this. I don't know. You may want to. I don't know.
I listened to 7 minutes of
Yeah,
it.
listen, yeah.
I subscribed, liked, and shared.
Yeah, she knows a lot about eating ass.
I learned a few tips.
Oh my gosh, that's so fucking uncomfortable for poor Kevin.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. This whole thing's making me a little nervous. I'm a little comfortable right now.
I know I said it last week, but we can just make a fucking beer.
God, jeez. No.
I think you need something stronger than
I
beer.
wonder why I've been drinking so much lately. I
You
think I
need
know
more.
now.
Yeah, you need more than-
I need more than what I've been doing.
You need a
It's just
can-
not even enough.
You need a cannonball.
When you think it's too much, you're only halfway there.
You need a cannonball. You know what that is.
Yeah. Cannibal. Yeah, so I'll let people go check that out. I'm probably going to skip that. But
I guarantee you she gets great numbers today.
I mean, if anybody really wants to hear about the art of eating ass, which
I think people do.
I just think people now have to listen.
There's a curiosity factor.
Yeah.
I can't listen to it because I know you and it makes me feel weird in my stomach, but a lot of people will tune into
Out of
that.
respect for you, I will not listen to it. I will not do what Denny's did.
I will not do what I want to do.
No. All right, stop it.
Angie said Kevin needs to play the clip and leave the room. No,
That's such a great
Dan, that girl
Yeah,
kicked him
I
off
don't
his
know.
show.
I don't know.
That's
Damn.
evil.
Yeah. I'll have Suits put up a poll real quick. I'm not listening to it. I'm not going to do that. Suits put up a poll. Should Kevin play the 54-second clip from Caitlin's podcast?
And if it's the majority,
Yeah.
You'll go stand in the hall like you're punished.
I'll just take my headphones off and I'll just cover my ears. and-
I don't know if I want to hear this.
I don't know if I
have
do
to.
either.
I don't know if anybody wants to hear. That's why I'm hoping people vote no. I'm going on right now. Should Kevin play the clip? I'm hitting no.
As a male friend of Kevin, I think
I'm
you
hitting
should
no.
not listen to it either, Jay Bird.
Come on, everybody, go no, no. Okay, I'll cut it off at how many we have in here? Okay, so we got enough that I'm gonna let it get to 100 votes. I gotta get 100 votes on this, and I'm at 57 right now.
It's not.
Holy crap! Come on, people.
They're voting yes.
It's not.
90% no. Go the other way. Come on,
Dude, they're
we're at
fuck-
71.
There are pirates and Vikings
Stop.
in there.
Do not. You guys want to hear this? Go listen to that. You can listen to the podcast on your own. Don't do it.
Well, Denny's already edited
Come on.
a great clip for them.
And
No.
and they want to see you squirm.
No.
I think we have to stay
Come
in Virginia.
on. It's at 10%. No, come on, people. All right, we're at 80 votes. Gosh, no.
We have to hear Kevin.
No.
You got to stay in here, Virginia.
All right, I'll stay. I think I can listen to it more easily than Jaybird or Kevin.
Do you care if I listen to it?
I don't care. Go ahead. I mean, it's there. You can. Yeah.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna get off on it.
You can listen because you'll give me a good.
Yeah, exactly.
Perspective on just how bad it is.
You better not get a bone piece.
You all can check me.
Kevin, check his pants.
Don't make this even weirder than this is. It's got nothing to do with that.
I can't.
John said,
it's so weird. I can't make it worse.
John said, Kev, don't get mad at us. Get mad at Denny's for already listening to it.
It's all Denny's.
Keither said, yeah, we just want to see the world burn. Evil people, honestly, evil. There's so much evil.
Oh
okay, we may not get to, okay, we're at 93 votes. Like I said, it's got to get to 100 if we're going to get there. We're at 94. Gosh,
Yeah,
there's no chance Noah's winning. But
Happy trails. We're all said I get to walking.
okay, we're at 96. If we don't get to 100, then it's an invalid vote. So that's geez, we're at 97.
It won't be sanctioned.
You're right, it's not sanctioned. Yeah.
What if they're just fucking with you and they stop at 99?
I'd be cool with that.
Be cool.
Be cool. Stop right now. No, we're at 99 right now. Nobody else vote. Nobody else vote. All right, you have
Somebody voted.
Of course they did.
90% of people want to hear this.
Damn, that's a landslide.
I'll let you know how truly awful it really is.
All right, this is from my daughter's podcast, Basic Boca Bitch. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll watch your
Take your
reaction.
headphones
No, my headphones
off.
are out. I'm not.
Do you want to walk out and we'll hit play?
No, I can't hear it because it's
Gotcha.
it's going to play through. Yeah.
Okay.
So I won't be able to hear a thing just by sitting.
We'll
here.
make faces.
I'll judge by how you guys react because I do want to see that.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
So I talked about him having a dermal implant. I told you guys
on my
that.
story and tagging Tim.
And it's for female pleasurement. And Olivia's gay, so let's just clarify. She likes vagina. She doesn't like dick.
Yes, indeed.
But like, you wouldn't eat a girl's ass.
I mean, I don't think so. I've never really thought about it.
But your girl now, she came to you. She's like, Olivia, I want you to eat my ass. In the moment, you would 100% be like, okay, babe.
I mean, maybe if it was like fucked up and like fuck it, sure.
and you're
Like,
there,
yeah.
and it's like, you're really. I think you have to be like really attracted to the person.
Yeah, okay.
In the moment, I'm fucked up.
Like, what is it like? I don't
Would you
fucking
do
know.
it sober?
Let me tell you, I've only eaten ass when I've been like really fucked up.
So you haven't done it sober, so you don't even know if it's
But I only have sex fucked up.
good. Have you ever had sex sober?
Oh no.
I mean, let's not get that deep here, okay?
What
Like,
is
no,
that?
I haven't. I can really only have
always
sex
fucked
drunk.
up.
Yeah, I'm always pretty fucked up. Like 10
Bro,
vodka Red Bulls
what?
in. Like, what, bro?
That's bad, Caitlin.
What was that look about?
What look?
Ooh.
What look are you talking about? Am I making a look?
It's over. Wow.
That's so bad. It's so bad.
I had questions and they got answered.
The answer don't. Yeah. How about this? Don't listen to it.
I don't even want to know.
You don't want to know.
Okay.
You don't want to know.
Look, it's nothing. Well, you don't want it. Yeah. Just shut the fuck up, Bird.
Just avoid it at all costs. Just probably move on.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Well, it's only because it's your daughter. That's why.
Yeah, no doubt, yeah.
No one ever wants to hear anybody's daughter talking
yeah.
about that.
But I don't even want to. Gosh, I don't. First of all, I don't even get why anyone would.
Panda's in the chat room, and he goes, "I love you, Kev." That's the tone. How it's
I know,
written.
yeah. If that's coming from
I
Sweet
love you,
Panda.
Kev. Yeah, it's
Gosh, it's that bad, huh? Oh,
Husbands
man.
supporting husbands.
And some people are going, I thought this would be way worse. The reason why it's
okay.
but they're not your daughter.
The concept's disgusting.
And it's
I mean,
a revelation about who does what.
Well, it doesn't matter who it was. The whole concept is revolting to me. So take Caitlin out of the, whole aspect.
The whole?
The aspect of this.
The ass?
Yes, please.
The
I wish
ass?
you would get out. Yeah. I don't even
aspect
get it.
of the whole?
I don't even get it. Assholes are filthy. What the hell are we doing back there?
I don't know, man. I do feel weird.
Mr. J said, "Let's join in prayer." Yes.
Yeah.
At least I got a lot of stuff to pray about today.
We pray.
Does her mother know that she said that?
I don't know.
I
dog.
don't. Like Kim's not going to go in and listen. I don't think. That's
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
We both just kind of sit it out. That's her thing. So, Hey. Nick had a comment correcting Kevin about the podcast. He said Joe Rogan is not conservative. He's left on most social issues. He says this all the time, and he has no idea why people paint him with a conservative brush. I think he was talking about Elon Musk and where things started to turn for him. I think the Twitter thing was a turn because we talked about how he's now, again, the richest man in the world, and the Tesla stock has rebounded, and that had taken a bit of a hit. I think when he'd taken over Twitter. And I just said, well, maybe it was a Joe Rogan. And the reason why I said that, and look, I don't listen to Joe Rogan often. Whenever there's something big, I might tune in. But I just know, especially during the pandemic, with when things got so political, it seemed like he was, leaning a little bit more on a lot of the issues that had gone conservative. So I kind of got that opinion and impression. I noticed that liberals seem to really hate him, so I figured he was there.
There's a lot of that going on. I think because he's a big gun guy. He's a big hunter, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and that doesn't necessarily mean you're a conservative by any means. There are people who have guns that are Democrats as well.
He's probably I mean, and I don't I've only met the guy twice and listened to his podcast a few times, and he's probably a lot like me. I'm kind of down the middle, and on some stuff I can go conservative.
Fluctuates.
But socially I'm pretty liberal with a lot of my concepts as well. So I think most Americans really are.
Yeah.
That's probably why his numbers are so good. Got a question here from Becky. She said, I grew up in a very conservative Christian family. Specifically, my dad was incredibly conservative and dedicated to the teachings of the Bible. He has also struggled with maintaining relationships in the church with friends because he is a very outspoken, black and white, assertive kind of person. He's passionate about being a person who is willing to call out people who are not 100% following the guidelines he believes the Bible has set for us to follow. Needless to say, his views and personality are a lot and very exhausting to our family and friends, and recently confided in me what he struggles with, depression, and takes medication for it. He also said he's been sad for a long time and asked me why I don't seem to be so sad or melancholy like the rest of our family. I felt so bad for him in that moment because the real answer is I'm not overly obsessed with religion, and I have a lot of friendships with wonderful people who think very differently than I do. I have faith, but for me, it's a private relationship unless someone specifically asks me about it. I don't want to offend him, but I see him isolating himself and my mom because every conversation and interaction he has becomes an opportunity for him to share his beliefs. He doesn't listen to people because he's always preaching. Yeah, and that's a bad thing. So anyway, I guess her point, what can I do to help him understand that he needs to relax without offending him? Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. I think with any uncomfortable conversation you got to have with somebody, you lead with love and understanding. And hey, I'm saying this is just my feeling and opinion. And here's why I bring this up to you. I bring it up because I care about you. And this is a feeling I have. I'll just lay it down here and you pick it up and do with it what you will. So, that would be my guess. I mean, I grew up in that too, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and that approach, I think that was really big 80s and 90s Christianity from what I had seen. A lot of the preachy people. And it's pushed so many people away from the faith. When I went back home to Logan, the church that I went to in junior high and high school, it's closed down. It's gone.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone. It's like now part of the courthouse or something.
Huh.
So and the other church that was just down the street, gone. It's now like an office building.
Wow.
And so I had asked Dad, I'm like, well, this is not a good sign. His church is doing well and they're thriving, but the churches that are doing well is doing what they should be doing, and they're not there to preach and make people feel about themselves or to love on people and try to help people when they struggle in life and be there for them. And to me, that's when the faith is done right. You're doing it that way. So, that's it. And maybe let them know that your approach, if you ultimately want to win people over to Christ, I don't think your approach is so effective. People don't like to be felt bad. They want to find something that's better. So you live a great life, show the happiness that you have. And if you're depressed, it's a hard way to show how much joy you have in Christ if you suffer from depression or always down and out.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, people don't want what you have, Dad. they want to go the other direction. You push people away from the faith, and maybe you're not aware of that, because I know that's the last thing you want to do.
That's funny.
That's real.
You're right, though. But 70s, 80s, 90s, the religion was different. Right around the 2000s, you started seeing the cool pastors around with the tats and the Jesus cool. You know what I mean? It did start to kind of go that way.
It did. It started to get a little bit more in that approach, and it was more of the, hey, look, we all are messed up, fractured people. Nobody's even close to perfect, and we all have got issues. Even the people that are up here preaching, we're a mess. And preachers now, they will go in on how they've had alcoholism, addictions to porn, all of these kind of problems, and said, look, I'm just like anybody sitting out there. You think I'm flawless? No, I got issues I'm always working on.
I jerked off right before the sermon. The problem is tough, y'all.
In the holy water.
By the way, I'm
right on
real
the side of the
fucked up.
stage.
I'm drunk. I remember I was at church one time, and I'm not at all ripping on someone's body weight, but this gentleman was pretty darn heavy, and he was talking about discipline and how you can't have. He was talking about food discipline. He was talking about discipline all your life. I'm going, this motherfucker. Oh my god!
Look down.
What the shit? Yeah, I think when that happens, that's a little weird.
They're like, all right.
Well, and people really hate hypocrisy.
Yes.
And so that is a big part of the problem. And that was why it was the wrong approach. When you're trying to get at people for what they're doing wrong, look in your own house first. That whole thing about rocks and glass houses.
I look up to a person that's got flaws. I like a person that has flaws but has it together too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and now you're seeing a lot of people kind of trying to strip away a little bit of the old things of the church and trying to live more now like, let's just try to help each other out. And sometimes if you live by a good moral code, you have less problems in your life. And let's just say, hey, look, here's a good path. You live this path, you'll have less problems, hopefully, in life, but everybody's going to have problems.
Yeah, I personally...
Let's try to help each other through it.
Taking away the religious aspect, I kind of feel like we have a spiritualism shortage.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
You can see it in people. You can see that people, we don't like each other, and you can see that in people. They looked immediately at other humans with contempt and anger and disdain, and it's because we've not been nice to each other. We got to learn to love each other again and realize, hey, look, we're in this thing together, and we're struggling. Man, we're gonna have different opinions and disagreements, but man, we gotta try to help each other through this because life is not easy.
I think people get it twisted too, spiritualism, or just what I mean by that is just being connected to your former human beings that are around you. You know, we don't have to get so trippy with the religion part, but just being connected to not only the people around you, to the land, to the earth.
Like initially, we were biologically wired to want companionship and to be around people. There are some people you don't want to be around, but let's not make it that way. I think that was the initial intention. We need to get more back to that. Let me see. Engineer Keith sent in I was talking about possibly going with an eye mask. I had read that it is helping with awareness the next day, memory recall, a lot of good things when it comes to sleep because of any kind of ancillary light kind of wakes your brain up.
I'm going to bring you one I've got in. It's a little fuzzy koala one. It's going to look so cute.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever. I'll take it. He says, I've got trouble sleeping, so I took those eliminate sources of light during sleep warnings seriously, and I've got 2 sets of blackout technology for each window, 1 roll down, 1 curtain. As for the punishment, don't think I didn't notice you guys only announced the punishment after the losers are determined. My guess is you have 2 sets of punishment for each do it bitch. 1 for Virginia if she wins, 1 for if she loses. Oh, Engineer Keith.
Well, how astute of you.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I think there was one time where it was something you'd feel weird doing it to a girl because we're all dudes and it's like you'd look like, but so
I know
one
it's
time,
hard because she doesn't sound like she's just.
Yeah, it just.
The punishment is
you didn't
eating
want
ass.
that. Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Well, I think it was maybe something had to do with like there was pubes involved. It's like you can't have a woman eating dude's pubes or something like that. But that would be an example where
I
we
think
might.
she did that too.
I think I did eat your pubes.
Yeah.
But it was something with nudity.
Okay, yeah, right.
And,
so we may have that for that, but yeah, no, that was something that if there is one punishment where we kind of scramble, we're not ready, and it just comes off kind of weak, and it's not the toughest. For some reason, whenever Virginia does lose, she does get that punishment.
I know, and if there's nudity with Virginia, oh no, please, oh stop it, bone piece, go down.
Yeah. So very interesting. Ben sent an email here, and we were talking earlier about the story with 2,600 diplomas were sent out to nurses that didn't actually go through the nursing. There are 3 nursing schools that have been shut down here in South Florida. 7,600 people have paid $17,000 each to get their diploma. 2,600 of them actually went on to pass the nursing test and are actively practicing as a nurse without having a degree in nursing.
If you're one of those 2,600 and you're just out there in the field right now, are you nervous? Do you feel the walls closing in on you?
I would think you would. Not necessarily that. I don't know that they will arrest them or anything like that, but they will likely at least you'll get fired and you'll be stripped of your license to practice.
And then they give them a reality show.
And if you gave anybody bad care, now you've set that hospital up for a giant lawsuit. Think about it. Just
doubt.
bad care that resulted in some sort of bad outcome up to and including death.
Yeah, I can promise you hospitals everywhere today are going through everyone that works there and double checking on their credentials to make sure that everyone is a valid employee and have the right credentials to be there.
Bravo Network's going to hire 8 of them, call the show Bad Nurses, and they're all going to be millionaires.
Bad nurses.
I'm telling you, Bravo's going to do that shit.
Anyway, Ben was saying I was at a local South Florida doctor who looked like he just stepped off the set of General Hospital, and I had to actually explain my son's cancer diagnosis to him in basic tests. Be like, no, this is actually what it means, and this is what it does.
No one is going to be an advocate for you or your family member like you will. If you educate yourself on your diagnosis and you figure out everything there is to learn about your disease, you are the best advocate to get the best care possible. I watched my friend Jerry Soma do it. He is the only guy that ever survived the kind of abnormalities he had growing on his pituitary gland. No one ever survived it, and he is living and breathing today. They wanted him to do one thing. He said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do a different surgery with a different doctor in Miami, not at Duke. They wanted him. It was him that researched and decided what he was going to do and saved his own life. If he would have done what they recommended for him to do, he would have died.
It is crazy, even on the level of you think things like this would never happen, and you don't know how it happened. Even when Aunt Ann passed away, the nurse came in with the doctor, and they told us we're going to have to pull the plug. She's not going to make it, and they start doing all that. They're getting prepared for that. So then 3 minutes later, a new nurse walks in and starts to feed my aunt. And she's like, "Oh, is she eating today yet?" She didn't get any of the notes that they were getting ready to take the plug out. She's trying to feed her. We're like, what's going on here? Even on that level, there's confusion.
I feel like she would like a meal before she passes.
If it was a good meal.
Yeah.
Don't make that shit bad, though.
No, it better be a great Italian meal.
Yeah, please, because,
she would love to go out like that.
She can't have the shitty meal going, But it's weird that you think even on a moment like that, oh, no one's going to mess it up. Mistakes happen,
Mistakes happen because they're human.
Yeah.
Just like we do mistakes at our job, doctors and nurses do mistakes at their job, unfortunately, every day.
Hey, we weren't mad. We just thought that was weird. It was odd.
It's weird that they're not communicating with the different medical teams.
It is a good note I'll walk away with about getting multiple opinions and doing your research yourself and making sure that you watch. Because typically, I think before this conversation, I would just walk in, lay down, and be like, hey, you guys know what you're doing, right?
I trust you.
Yeah, right.
I told you about the person I know. It was a Friday. They get the call about the results. You have hepatitis C. The whole weekend they thought they had hepatitis C. Now this is back in the day when they didn't have a cure for any of that.
When it was scarier.
They get a call back on Monday. Oh, they read the chart wrong. You do not have hepatitis.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Talk about the emotions.
Wow.
And then they were paranoid. So they took 9 other tests after because they were just fucking distraught after it.
That's a lot.
See why? That's crazy. That is crazy. Let me see. Got an email here. Says, I love y'all, but please let's put Denny's on the bench for a minute and do it, bitch. Got to change it up. Have Kevin step in for the game. Denny's nails so many other segments like Joke Jury, Knows When You're High. You just don't know how to do it, bitch. Signed Denny's mom. That's
Oh,
Damn.
shit.
It's not Denny's mom.
Carol.
That's not Denny's mom. Denny's is
on
going
now.
nowhere.
Come on now. What y'all doing? Also got an email here with another UFO sighting. Happened last night in Vero Beach.
Nice.
Last night I was walking my dog. I looked up to find these two strange lights in the sky. I was curious. I Googled it, and there have been similar sightings identical to this on several other occasions in other countries. So I took this video and picture to mark their location. I figured I would recheck in a half hour to see if they moved. I walked out 45 minutes later, and they were nowhere to be seen.
Wow.
Clearly weren't planets or stars at this point. I got chills when I saw they had just vanished. I'm wondering if anyone else saw these last night in Vero Beach. So that's
That's
from
great.
LB.
All I ask is, if people are curious, even the naysayers, I just want you guys to watch, at least look up the 1994 story about the kids at the school in Zimbabwe. I don't know how you can make something up like that. It's arguably one of the greatest UFO alien sightings ever to hit the planet.
Everybody knows that kids from Zimbabwe lead the league in lying.
Don't be a dick. This is big. Nope. You're not witching your way out of this one. This is some real shit, dog. I'm telling you what. I'm gonna send you that documentary. It's called Phenomenon. It's on YouTube for free right now. It's the greatest UFO documentary ever.
Okay.
I hope y'all watch it.
I've seen something on that, actually, before.
The Zimbabwe kids?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
He said, so don't send it to me.
No, but I know what he's talking about. Yeah, I've seen that before. No, it's a crazy, like, okay.
On National Compliment Day. You're going to be this big of a raging dick.
And the email that we'd had yesterday, kind of about the alien stuff, about the Nephilims, the mysterious beings or the giants from the Bible and whatnot. And I'd said, well, you're afraid to look into the sky. And the person said, yeah, they actually have, aircraft and things like that. So apparently the giants have planes. So I know I sound crazy, but
look,
it's traumatic for them.
I know when I say I'm trying to connect with aliens and UFOs and through meditation, I know it sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would be very frustrating to be there. If I had seen something, I'd be like, gosh, man, I've seen this. My eyes have. You probably question yourself for the rest of your life.
There's so many stories of what you're talking about where people have. They're distraught after. There's this one policeman out in Texas. He was such a credible guy. He was known to be just this down-earth guy. He quit his job because he didn't want to make the town look so bad because he sounded crazy. He saw legit aliens, according to him. And his reputation was ruined. Mm-hmm. Why would you ruin your reputation if you didn't see something?
Yeah, I just wish these aliens would stop fucking around and make this thing happen so I can move on with other things in my life.
There's a theory behind that, but I think I've already kind of lost the room.
Tune into the Weird and Whatever.
Is this a plug for the weird or whatever?
That's what it is.
No.
No. All right, well, thank you for all the emails and for putting up with clips of my daughter's podcast.
Fascinating.
Basic Boca Bitch. You can go find it there if you want to get a tutorial on eating ass.
I mean, the content wasn't crazy. The act, or it's the fact that it was your daughter. You had to,
Yeah.
It was. That's what
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've heard enough. I got to go before you say more.
Stop trying to make me feel bad.
Say less.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.